Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye has friends. No, really, Jeff has friends. Jeff's friends are on this podcast. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship. Jeff Dye's friendship.
Friendship.
Welcome to week 50 of Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. What's a 50 out there in sports? Brian Bosworth, he's 55. Oh, Jamie Moyer. Jamie Moyer was a old man who pitched for the Seattle Mariners. He was also very beloved because Seattle Mariner fans are sweethearts to every Mariner. I didn't like Jamie Moyer. Never did. He was mean to me when I was young. He was mean to me when I was a teenage boy. I didn't like him as I didn't think he was that interesting, and he threw slow. So this episode is not for Jamie Moyer. Sorry if that's just honest. He was a jerk to me when I was a lot of different stages of my life. And I'd come to the Kingdom and go, oh, maybe he'll be nice to me now. He's playing for the Orioles. He was a dick then, too. Didn't sign autographs unless he was like some 4-year-old baby or something. And then he'd come over and go, oh. He's just a grumpy, not talented, weird pitcher. So if you know Jamie Moyer, tell him, hey, make it right. Come on to Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. Say you're sorry for being a grumpy pro athlete who outstayed his welcome, in my opinion. What's another number 50? There must be a good one in Seahawks. 50. We'll think of one. But this week's episode is it's just me and Tony, just chopping it up, getting a little topical. We talk about some of our pet peeves. We talk about music. Tony's dabbling into some new chapters of his life with his talents, what I'm very excited about. We talk about the college scandal with that broad from Full House. It's interesting stuff. I, as you can probably guess, don't know nothing about it. So what am I talking about it for? Not a college guy. I didn't even do any homework or learn about it. But so what? Let's talk about it. So we did that. You're going to love this episode. Tony's a good guy. So you're going to get to know him a little better. Sometimes he just sits there at his laptop. But today, it's his day. Enjoy the episode. And we're in. Episode 50.
Yeah.
And guess what that means?
What?
No guest.
That's right.
No Aaron Marsh. Me and you, bud.
Just us.
It is episode 50. We're happy to be here.
I feel like I'm kind of like the guest.
You're the guest. Yeah, but we're going to learn a lot about you because you're going to have to talk. Yeah. You can't just sit there.
Yeah.
Whenever there's not a guest, it's just the boys episode. We got to go topical. That's how it goes. You got to talk about what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
You know?
Makes a lot of sense.
First of all, what's going on in your world?
Oh, man. I don't know. A lot.
Yeah. Making
A lot of
music.
stuff. Yeah.
You sent me
music.
an incredible rap. Here's the thing. I don't know much about rap. Not a rap guy. I don't know how it works.
Sure.
To my understanding, you've taken the music from a rapper that people already know.
Yes.
What's his name?
Logic.
Yes. And then you flowed or rapped. Is that even a term, flowed?
Sure.
You rapped your lyrics over his music.
Right. Yeah. So I put my own verses on his song.
What made you do that?
So I'm making original music
that
I'm working on, and that's going to come out in the summer.
Nice.
So I'm working on getting that all together. And in the meantime, I just wanted to put...
Hot take, by the way.
Yeah.
Summertime's coming, and Tony Reavis is going to have some hip-hop for you.
Yeah. And I just wanted to have some music or something in the meantime, and to kind of pass the time and get people listening and people hearing what I can do. So And there's going to be another, by the time people are listening to this, there's going to be another video out.
Now we're talking.
So
did he see it? Did Logic see the one that I haven't retweeted it yet? I'm going to try and I wanted to get a better understanding of it.
Right.
I just listened to it. I said, this is great.
Yeah.
And I love Tony.
Yeah, he hasn't listened to it.
You're walking around in an area with graffiti, like, look at how hard I am.
Yeah. Well, no. That's not it's a very vulnerable song. There's a lot of vulnerable lyrics in there.
Yeah, most good things are vulnerable. Actually, not necessarily in hip hop.
Not always, but
hip hop, I don't see a lot of deepness in a lot of hip hop.
That's why my favorite rappers like Kid Cudi, because he was doing that when it wasn't cool.
Okay.
Talking about mental health and all that stuff. And I was like, it really resonated. And then Logic does the same thing. So that's why those are like two of my favorites. But I do it because I love it. I'm not ever going to claim to be something I'm not.
Right. Well, that's my next question. You grew up in Kent, Washington.
Sure.
Foxwoods.
Yeah.
And I know Kent better than most.
Yeah.
If you don't know much about Kent, Washington, especially when we grew up there, it's very middle to lower class financially. A lot of athletes come out of these areas, but not a lot of Harvard grads, not a lot of private schools. You know what I'm saying? There's a school that has wealthier kids, but that's by no means a private school.
Right.
And so a lot of, it's kind of just white, rural, some Russian, some very little Asian, but mostly dominantly white, middle to lower class. Is it cultural appropriation for you to be doing hip hop?
I don't know.
You don't know the rules on that?
Yeah, I don't know. And I would say no, because again, I'm not claiming to be anything I'm not.
Right.
It's just, it's poetry to me. It's a way to express myself, get my feelings out, and I can do it in different ways. And, I don't know. That's a tough question. And I can't be
I think cultural appropriation is stupid anyways. So whether you said yes or no, I wouldn't have cared, because I think cultural appropriation is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't enjoy another person's culture because it's not yours. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and I think there's toxic versions of it. And
well, if you're making fun of them, that's different.
Sure.
But if you're just celebrating it or enjoying it or listening to it or dressing like it or doing what you'd like there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
Right.
Also, the reason I asked you that is kind of setting me up for my next thing is, what if there's a lot of rappers who didn't grow up in the hood and didn't grow up in these areas, and they're wildly successful rappers who are never accused of cultural appropriation because they're black guys. How come it's not cultural appropriation when they do it if they weren't grow up in that culture?
I don't know.
Because that's not their culture. They just happen to be a black guy and they're allowed to do it because their skin is a color.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's why...
I don't understand it.
That's why it's for me, it's very important. Again, I just talk about things that how I'm feeling and what I enjoy. And that's why my first music project that I put out 2 years ago was comedy based, and it was just silly, fun stuff. And then this stuff's more serious and real stuff, because I have more stuff that I want to talk about and stuff like that. But
can you do a song about dogs?
Sure.
Please.
I might.
The people want it.
Yeah, I could do that.
That's what I would listen to rap music about.
Yeah.
What made you do rap, though? I mean, you grew up listening to rap?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just...
Because I know you sing good.
Yeah.
This isn't singing.
Yeah. Well, a little bit. Sometimes.
Okay.
I can sing the hook is singing, the chorus of the song.
I might get into some music.
You should.
But I get one of those machines that goes in my mouth. It's
a talk box?
Yeah, you know that stuff?
Yeah.
And I'll do my poetry. I've written we've all written everybody's written poetry.
And that's just the thing. It's just it's just an extension of that for me. And just it's like a puzzle for me, the way that I can write to music. And I really like writing to stuff that's not rap. Another one that I'm working on for in a few weeks, I'm gonna rap on Rage Against the Machine, Bulls on Parade.
Talking. I like that,
because I like to, I've rapped on dubstep songs, I've done all kinds of stuff like that, because I just like to find ways to find a cadence and switch up a cadence, and I love wordplay and stuff like that. So the one that's out last week that you saw, there was not a lot of wordplay because it was, a lot of emotion coming out in a song.
Yeah,
for me, and then this one that's out now, you can listen to. It's just kind of silly, and it's like I'm rapping on a TLC song.
Nice.
And it's just like silly, and there's wordplay, and it's just fun.
Well,
Yeah.
I would like to, if anybody's listening to this and you have the answer to this question, or if you disagree, or if you agree, let us know what constitutes cultural appropriation for music. Like, I think that Eminem should be able to rap because he grew up in the culture of hip hop culture, like playing by their rules is what I'm suggesting.
Right.
But there should be that scrutiny for a lot of rappers,
it's
not based on their skin, if you're going to play by those rules.
Right.
So I'm sure there's plenty of rappers in hip hop who just grew up. I think like J. Cole grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Or Charlotte, yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte. So how does he? How's he getting away with it? Like what? Just because he's a black guy?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know their rules. That's all I'm asking.
That's the thing is I don't know what he's been through, and like he seems to be rapping very honestly too. He seems to be rapping very honestly too. But there are people, especially like these days, where it's like, the music's a lot of it's the same, and it's rapping out money and cars and whatever, and that's fine.
There's a market for that,
and yeah, exactly. It's like if people go to a club, like they don't want to hear, a Kendrick Lamar like really like intricate thought provoking
thoughtful
song.
Yeah.
But I think it's about them individually, I guess. That'd be my biggest thing. It's like,
and that's what we want it to be. I'm playing devil's advocate by the rules set up by cultural appropriation.
Because even like,
I'm asking, if you're playing by these rules, how come we're not playing by it fairly?
Right. Because it's like, because there's rappers like Will Smith, you know what I mean? Like he was a very clean kind of, friendly rap. Like it'd be weird to have him talk about hood stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But when you grew
it's tough
up,
for us to have not really, but I mean, like we can't be the judge on this. You know what I mean?
I'm not judging anything. I'm saying, asking the questions.
I know. I'm not saying
you don't got
judging.
the answers.
You got the answers, Sway.
I was hoping you'd have the answers.
Yeah.
Speaking on behalf of young people, and you rap.
I don't know. Yeah, no.
So I thought you would know.
No.
Not just the Breakfast Club is allowed to talk about this
I
crap,
know. Yeah.
I've got questions.
It's not for me to decide.
What was I going to say? Oh, so did you listen to rap growing up?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember like...
I didn't. Zero rap in my arsenal. There was zero CDs that were rap when I grew up. Zero.
I remember it was like 95 and I'm like... Is before I'm even in kindergarten. My brothers are at school, my dad's at work, and my mom's just at home, and I'm just kind of doing whatever. And I'd like flip through the channels, and I'd flip to like MTV.
Okay.
And I remember like watching Tupac California Love music video that's like Mad Max.
Yeah.
I was like 5, and I just like loved it.
That's fascinating.
And so like that was like one of the first songs I knew all the words to. And
I had
like,
a Montel Jordan tape. I had a Beastie Boys CD.
Sure.
And I had a Sir Mix-a-Lot CD.
Yeah.
The Sir Mix-a-Lot music was funny.
Yeah.
I liked it because it was funny.
Buttermilk Biscuits.
Yeah, no, like the Humpty and all. You have all. Well, that wasn't part of it. That wasn't part of it. But I like Big Butts was like so edgy, and Buttermilk Biscuits and the Kid Sensation. It was all seemed very funny to me. It didn't seem like hip hop or anything. And then the Montel Jordan, that's like R&B top 40 stuff.
Yeah.
And then what was the third one? Beastie Boys. Yeah, that seems so different.
Yeah.
But also I wasn't even really into it that much. I just liked that they were these like rebellious characters. You know? I was listening to some pretty soft, Sister Hazel and Hootie and the Blowfish and Goo Goo Dolls. That's what I liked.
The first CD that I ever owned was Skee-Lo.
Yeah, that's but that's also comedy.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah, it's a comedy.
That's like such a weird, and like looking back on it now, when I was younger, I was like, oh, it's just like a catchy song or whatever. But you listen to the lyrics and he's just like roasting himself the entire time. He's like, I suck. Like,
small, yeah.
It's kind of funny.
Which was the opposite of what hip hop was doing.
He's like, oh, my car sucks. I can't pick up any girls. Like,
which is the opposite of what hip hop was doing at that time, for sure.
Yeah, which is funny.
What was I going to say? Oh, so that being said, you listen to all that stuff, and I listen to just really bad music, to be fair. I mean, like, I loved it. I still love it, but it's not wildly popular.
Yeah, and I listen to everything because my parents used to like...
Oh, metal? You listen to metal music?
Oh, Linkin Park.
It's not kind of metal.
A little bit. But my parents used to DJ weddings. Not like DJ, like scratching on the ones and twos, but just, playing the music. So like I've had just an affinity for like all types of music growing up.
You guys were wedding DJs.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Only for like, friends and stuff, but like, So I grew up with all kinds of music,
Right.
And like my favorite, like
What was your first concert?
I didn't go to many concerts. My first one was like Cube 93 Summer Jam when I was in like 9th grade.
Oh,
and it
that
was
is a big. But you went to your first concert in 9th grade.
yeah.
I didn't go to my first concert until I was like a senior in high school.
Yeah, and but I didn't go to another one until like I was in college. But it was Ludacris was the headliner.
Oh man.
Ti was there. E40 was there,
nice.
but like when E40 was like popular,
Right, yeah,
because he's always been kind of underground. But then when he had that one,
If you don't know who E40 is, he's the heavyset guy that's all the Golden State Warriors games.
yeah, yeah. Bow Wow was there,
Oh yeah,
Which
he was
was-
with Cece at the time.
which was funny.
I think he dated Sierra.
I don't know.
Russ's wife.
And then Ray J was like the first person.
Oh god,
And I showed up late, so I didn't even see
you
him.
didn't see Ray J.
Yeah, which was fun.
My first concert ever was Incubus.
Ooh,
I didn't take a girl. I went with a girl.
yeah.
And her friends. I was like the only guy. I was like so in love with her, and I was like in the friend zone.
Oof.
It was brutal. And I was in the friend zone hard. I mean,
Yeah.
real hard.
Been there, yeah.
And so hard that even her friends were like, "Ugh, hey, it's pretty obvious you like her. And what she's doing is not right." You know, like that. Like, you know, letting me
I've
take
been
her to
there.
all the dances,
I've been there,
hanging out with her every day.
Yeah.
You know, so it was pretty brutal. But I went with her because she liked Incubus. And I was like, this will be fun. And it was a wild concert, man. It was really good.
Yeah.
But it was also like every song they would start, they go, this next song's about us getting high on acid and or taking acid and mushrooms and stealing our dad's car. And then you're like, what? And it, being a sheltered kid from Kent,
Right.
listening to that, I was just go, what's going on with these guys? They're bad. You know, I was
Yeah.
like all churchy.
Yeah.
They do drugs. Oh,
Not
man.
okay.
And not even like weed, like the cool kids. They did acid.
They do the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I wasn't accepting of weed. But they're naming stuff that's even more than weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, wild.
That should have been a red flag. Like maybe I shouldn't hang out with this girl. She's a bad influence on me.
No, she was. I mean, to be fair, she was just in love with Brandon Boyd. Which, when you hear his voice and you look at him, everybody would fall in love with Brandon
Sure.
Boyd. That guy's he's a rock star.
Yeah.
Well, he's not a rock star, but he looks like a handsome devil.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. Not
Sure.
a rock star. He's more of like a top 40 star or an alternative star.
Yeah. That's a weird thing. Like what's alternative? Like that's just in itself is undefining.
Whatever 1077 The End plays.
Yeah. Like what's alternative? Just anything that's not.
In comedy, alternative, the definition was supposed to be anything that wasn't in a comedy club. So comedy clubs were like booked comedians with like the blazers with the pushed up sleeves, and we're doing like setup, punch, tag. And it annoyed a lot of the other comedians who that weren't being booked because they weren't so cliche. So they would just start their own shows. They would do alternative shows at like bars and things like that. Somehow it turned into like you have to be a hipster,
Right.
or you have to be like a musical act, or you have to be like a transgendered. That's what makes you an alternative comedian. You're like,
Strange.
no, that's not alternative comedy.
It's so weird.
Yeah, you're just a comedian. You're the same as us. You're.
What do you think about musical
for music
comedians?
stuff? Oh, I like musical comedians if they're good. I'm like anything. I don't care what
There's
they
not-
are.
and
If they're funny,
And there's not a lot that can get away. Like Fly the Conchords, amazing.
amazing.
Lonely Island,
Stephen Lynch,
yeah.
hilarious. Dimitri Martin.
Bo
I don't know if he
Burnham.
counts as musical. Bo
Yeah.
Burnham for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the ones that succeed,
Sure.
you know, they're doing it at the best. I think it's my only, and this might seem controversial. I don't mean for it to. The only time I don't like comedy is when they're trying to do something that's not comedy.
Yeah.
So like Carlos Mencia will go on some rant about doing the right thing. He used to like finish his thing like, most comics would end with a big joke, but I don't do that. I want people to know. And he like gives this like weird speech about how
Yeah.
he's better than doing an ending joke. And then everyone was like, that was
Well, he
really something special.
he couldn't
And I was
write
like,
a joke.
What do you? Yeah, it was very weird. Or Hannah Gatsby just quitting comedy in the middle of her comedy special. I mean, that's fine, but that's a TED Talks. Like this is it's flirting with this kind of different genre, which some people think is fine. I don't, and that's okay if they think that. But me personally, just be funny.
Yeah.
I want you to be the Hannah Gatsby that we paid a ticket to see. You're a comedian. You have a great perspective. You have a great look. You have a great lifestyle that people want jokes about.
Yeah.
How dare you just stop and start being political? It's like, that's not what this is. And just so I'm being transparent, I don't like it when Bill Maher does it. I didn't like it when Dennis Leary did it. I don't appreciate it when Hannah Gatsby does it. So it's not about her lifestyle specifically as much as just like, make it funny.
Yeah.
I need it to be funny. That's what
Right.
I want. It's weird.
Yeah.
Comedy has a lot of things like that. That's a pet peeve of mine. I have a new pet peeve that I
wanna
just
hear
found today.
Let's hear it.
I'm getting on the airplane. I just landed from Raleigh, North Carolina. That's how I learned that J. Cole was from Charlotte. I'm getting on the airplane, and I never fly Southwest. I don't really like the system.
Yeah. The festival seating.
Ugh, don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's okay because I fly enough on so many different airlines that at least I'm like A15.
Right.
Or I'm like A20. So I'm going to get a good seat.
Sure.
I'm going to have overhead space. All those are good. So I get on there. I'm only like 15 people behind the first person on the plane. And everyone, this doesn't always happen, but this happened today, made a mad dash for the exit row seats.
Yeah.
The people that got the exit row seats were short women.
Not okay.
Not okay. Save it for the bigger guys, the big gangly tall guys that have their knees in the back of the seat.
Yeah.
It's so unfair.
That's fucked.
But in their minds, it's like, what? I was on first. So you're like, I know, but it's like me pulling into one of those mall parking spots that's for like pregnant women and just being like, well, they can't enforce that.
Yeah.
I was here first. Why should they get a special? And it's like, if you're going to have that lack of empathy for larger males or even larger women, let's say this is a 6'4" chick. She needs that seat.
Yeah.
Give her that seat. It was like some
Lisa
short,
Leslie's on the plane.
snotty 19-year-old girl who's just looking at everyone like, I got here first. And then like an old lady.
Ugh.
I was so annoyed by it.
That's the worst.
I was very upset.
Planes are tough for me.
Yeah.
So I'm a bigger guy.
Big guy. Getting smaller, though.
Getting smaller. Working
Every
on
day.
It. Yeah.
You're looking different every day.
Yeah. Which is good. And that's a part of it. Because I was like flying like in the holidays. I was like, this is too
Let's do
uncomfortable.
something about
This
this.
is too uncomfortable. Yeah.
I remember I've used this example to just some of our mutual friends when you weren't around, but like how when I bought my Ural, which is a motorcycle with a sidecar, you kept saying, I'm not getting in that.
Yeah.
And I kept being like, yeah, you're underestimating how large the sidecar is. Like, it's going to be fine. Because I've had Randy in it. I've had all these people in it. I'm like, yeah, they fit fine. And they get in and go, oh, this is actually.
Do you remember what I would say?
And then, Tony, well, no.
I would always be like, I think you're underestimating how large I am.
Yeah. And then when you actually did sit in my garage, when it was like not turned on or anything, and just like, let's just see.
Yeah.
You were right. It was you didn't fit in it. You looked like Bowser from Mario Kart. You know, when you're picking your go-kart. And it's like, oh, Toad fits in this one, and they go to the next one, and then it's like Bowser's just bigger than the cart.
Just like grabbing the.
And you were like, see, and I was like, you were right.
Yeah.
You were right. I underestimated.
Yeah, we gotta go test it. Now.
I bet now, yeah, you've lost, 70 pounds?
70 pounds,
That's
yeah.
insane. Do you realize how much 70 pounds is?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's 25 more pounds than I can lift with a dumbbell.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What's the secret? Tell the people. I'm trying to lose 70 pounds.
I don't know. You just got to hate yourself enough, I guess.
Yeah, right.
That was the.
No, what's the regiment, if you will?
Yeah. I'm not really sticking to any like specific like fad diet or anything like that. I'm just eating good, like just not eating dog shit.
Yeah, but your definition of eating good is strange to me too.
Why?
Because you say, oh, I'm just eating good, but you're only eating better than you were. You're not eating that healthy.
I am.
You're eating smaller portions and you're eating healthier than you used to eat.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
like if I showed my ex-girlfriend what you're eating, she would be like, that's the worst diet I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like those real like crazy Shiite nutritionists who are like vegan, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, no. But I'm pretty much like just like I'm not eating red meat.
Nice.
Just a lot of vegetables and
yoga.
And yoga.
Yeah, you've been doing that.
I'm doing yoga, DDP yoga.
And you had a trainer.
And then I've gotten back to the gym.
To give all the credit to the diet is ridiculous.
No, and that's what I'm saying is like I'm not doing a specific diet. I'm just eating better,
Yeah.
but I'm just busting my ass.
Yeah.
I'm really busting my ass.
Are you doing a lot of walking and stuff?
Yeah. So like when I go to my day job and stuff, like I would take an Uber. But instead now I'm walking to the train, which is like, it's not crazy. I'm not walking like miles and miles, but it's like, 3/4 of a mile to the train.
Yep.
Then I get off the train, then it's another half mile to work.
Nice.
So that's already 1.25 miles.
It's good.
I do
you
that
have
twice
to
a day.
calculate more time.
Yeah.
For sure. It takes longer, but
So
you're saving money, I bet.
I'm saving money, and that's like, so then when I would do that home, I just walk 2.5 miles today.
Yeah.
Then I'll do my yoga or I'll be at the gym because I just got back to the gym and yeah.
Yeah, I walk so much. No, I think that's something nobody knows about me is how much I walk.
Yeah.
I just love a walk.
Yeah.
I love a stroll. I love walking around. And when I'm on the road, sometimes I'll literally just put on a backpack that's got like my iPad in it and headphones and like a cell phone charger and some notepads. And I'll just wander. Sometimes I'll find myself like 15 miles away from the hotel and I'm just like, all right, here's a little coffee shop here, or there's like a store I went into.
Yeah.
I must have walked like 30 miles from like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like just seeing stuff.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. And I'm finding that out too. Like with working out can be tough, know, but now it's like therapeutic,
Yeah.
which is good. Once I get into that zone,
When it's addicting, you start doing it enough.
Exactly. And once I get into that zone where I'm just like, have a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
It
good.
It feels good.
Well, that's the thing. I think those are the best reasons. There's 3 reasons I'll tell you. If you're listening to this, you're like, I don't work out. I don't like that shit. Some people find great identity in not working out. They're like, oh, I would never. Oh, that's not for me.
Yeah.
Or they think it's funny to be lazy, which it isn't. There's 3 reasons that I love working out. One is I always feel this great sense of accomplishment after I do it.
Yeah.
Even if we hooked up some robots to me and I burned no calories and I didn't, that did my body no service, I feel better. I go home and I go, good for me. I worked out. I'll even sometimes, then when I say that it would have no effect, it's probably because I'd come home and crush beers and eat something, but just completely deleting my workout. But my mind, my confidence goes, man, I feel really proud of myself that I went and worked out today. Yeah. So that's the first reason. Second reason is there's an actual chemical reaction that happens.
A lot of endorphins.
Yeah. You just get happy. You get like very, not, I guess positive is a weird word to put on that, but you actually get this chemical endorphin drip of you being like, man, I'm like getting jacked. They call it like a runner's high or a workout high. Mm-hmm. So that's a fun part of it. Mm. And then the third reason I'd say you should, I sleep so good when I'm just exhausted from working out.
Yeah.
I just deep sleep. I just don't move. And I'm like, I'm so glad that I worked out today this hard because I'm just going to conk out.
Yeah. It's always a good feeling, except the like leg cramps I'll get. So, like if I stretch too much at like 4 a.m. Like, no.
I'm just used to that.
Yeah, that's just the worst. But no, yeah, it's I'm feeling great.
I love that. So staying strong. We got to have DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. He has his own workout thing called DDP Yoga. That's what Tony's been doing. Mm-hmm. Looking to have Diamond Dallas Page on this podcast.
Yeah.
He said yes. He doesn't live here.
Yeah.
One thing that's funny is when he first did that, it was like a viral video that people were sending around because it seemed so ridiculous.
Right.
And I'll mention this when DDP's here. I remember seeing it and going, what? This wrestler is doing yoga? And it seemed like he was trying to make it seem badass. Like, it's not your mama's yoga.
Right.
And I was like, this is ridiculous. But turns out it's fantastic and it really does work. And his goal was to get people that aren't typically yogis. Like, I go to yoga a lot, so that's why it seemed silly to me.
Right.
I thought it was like a gimmick or a joke. But it's great. He's getting a lot of people who would not otherwise do yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like me, like I've done yoga, like, in theater, like my college and stuff, like in theater classes, like to warm up or whatever, do like light yoga, but I've never I'm not going to go to like a yoga class at the gym or whatever. That was just never my thing. And, this has been awesome. It's not typical yoga. Mm-hmm. I think it's similar to something like when I kind of started explaining it to you, it's like, you do the same kind of thing. So it's not like it's a secret or anything, but, and it's good. I feel
balance. It's like yoga's a lot about like stabilizing muscles and stuff. So it's like the muscles you don't use. And the only example I could think of if you don't work out a lot would be like if you played football a lot and then, or even just with your friends, not even like for school or something, but you played football, and then you got to a certain age where you never played sports anymore, and then everyone's like, let's play in the turkey bowl. Let's like just get a big turkey bowl together.
Yeah.
And you're like, how am I so sore?
Right.
And you're like, well, because you don't use those muscles.
Right.
Those muscles are like secret muscles.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
These weird hidden ones that are like stabilizing muscles and like left to right, like
Yeah.
lateral, like.
Right.
So you could work out every single day, and then you go to a turkey bowl, and you're like, this is a new sore.
Yeah.
This is a new kind of sore.
Yeah. Been there. Yeah.
So that's what yoga is.
Sure.
But that's what good for balance.
Yeah, because it's also strengthening your ligaments and tendons and stuff too. It's the whole,
which is important as
the
you
whole
age.
package. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't recommend you drink a bunch when you do yoga because you get dehydrated and you sweat out all this stuff. But I'm that kind of guy. I don't listen to the rules.
Yeah.
I'm saying I do what I want.
No, should you?
I do what I want.
Yeah, you're doing all right for yourself.
All right. I want to talk about this because 1, I don't understand it. 2, I think it's very interesting. 3, I'm afraid I'll learn a lot about it and not find it interesting no more.
Uh-oh.
This college scandal stuff.
Yeah,
You been following it?
a little bit.
Okay. Explain it to the best you can to the people listening.
It's pretty much what I think is just these rich people with shitty kids who,
What do you mean shit? Why are the kids shitty?
because they're like, they couldn't get into college.
Well,
Shitty SAT
Maybe
scores,
they
shitty
could've.
GPAs.
just not good colleges.
Sure.
They'd have had to go to the colleges.
Sure. They would have had to go
We
to
go to.
Green River Community College.
No, they'd go to like UW or they'd go to, something like that.
no.
No?
UW's real hard to get into.
I didn't know that.
Real hard. That's why,
Okay, so
You
the
know,
parents
but yeah, and then they
are
just,
afraid their kids are going to be regular or average or dumb, so they flaunt their money.
and they bribed the school to accept their kids, which is crazy.
I am not surprised by this at all.
No.
In fact, it doesn't seem that crazy. In every system of life, the wealthy people throw money at a thing and then they get it.
Yeah.
And we're fine with it in every other aspect of life. Like you spend more money, you get a better car. You spend more money, you get a better opportunity. You spend more money, you get the better seats. I imagine you could just go to college and be like, my kid's not as bright as the other kids that go here. Here's a bunch of money, let them in. And they
Yeah.
go, all right, yeah, we love money.
think-
That's what colleges are all about,
but I
is
think
money.
exactly, and that's why this happened. But I think the uproar with society is they're taking spots from kids who deserved it and couldn't get there now.
Right.
That's the issue.
Yeah, but college is such a racket anyways. Seems like a big scam. It's not like it guarantees these kids are going to get better jobs or anything. It's just really the college is like, yeah, we're a scam and you have a bunch of money. Perfect. You can get in here. The kids don't even want to go. That Lori Laughlin's kids are like, got YouTube channels and like, oh, I like makeup.
They dropped out.
They don't even care.
And they dropped out because they're being bullied.
Yeah. They dropped out when?
It's like last week.
Oh, I see.
Like they've left school. They're not going back.
Yeah. Well, their mom's going to prison. They should spend some time with her.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting thing is I talked about it with my buddy Matt Lagman, who is the greatest dude of all time. He went to Yale, which is a big school in this investigation. And he was saying like it was pretty big. Like there was a couple of coaches who basically took like $400,000 and then just put them on the recruitment list as soccer. They didn't even play soccer.
Yeah, there's people like photoshopping like their kids into
like,
pictures
look,
and stuff
it's a
like
recruitment.
he's on the rowing team in his high school or whatever. But
the coach
he's
is
not
doing it. Yeah. So I presented this question. If my theory is the wealthy always get the best, right? That's why it's very prominent or very desirable to get rich because we all know you get better opportunities, better things, and better style of life or whatever that's called, better quality of life with more money in things that aren't spiritual and mental and things like that. But like with just like physical things, money makes your physical life more glamorous. So I asked Matt how he got in. Did he have an edge on someone like me? And of course he did, because his parents have a lot of money, private junior high, private high school. He had a coach to prep him for the SATs. And so, or an SAT prep, like guy that was worked with him on it. So when he got up to that point, that's an advantage that money gave him. Money gave him that advantage to get into these schools. And Yale looked at that. They go, oh, look, he went to this really great private high school and went to this really great private junior. Oh, it's really good things. We actually know this guy who taught him how to prep for the. So what happened is everyone's fine with that line. We're all used to that line. But when it crosses this new line of just paying to get some dummies into the college, then everyone's like, that's too far. That's against the laws and against the rules that we've set up at this weird place. But I think that, do what you want. If I don't really, if you need to put them in jail and get mad at them and judge them and bully them and tweet about them, then that's fine. But I don't find it that interesting because I feel like there's always just kind of been a thing that places do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. The big part is going to be the admissions people, the like higher ups at these universities they're the ones that are going to get in big trouble.
Right.
Yeah,
they're going to lose some jobs.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Did you ever take the SATs?
No, I took some LStats or something like that. LStats,
sure.
Something that to get into Green River, you got to have like some. It's not your SATs. It's like some smaller.
If
one.
you didn't take the SAT, you
right?
Could
take this other one.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even consider it at a 4-year.
Yeah,
and I was going to Green River Community College when I didn't even have a high school diploma. Yeah, because you can do that.
Yeah,
there's people there trying to get their GEDs and stuff, and so I was told like, oh, you got to get your AA. Get your associate in arts. That's what you got. And then once you have that, that'll transfer you to the big 4 years.
Right.
But his thing, I didn't even know what an AA was. I don't understand.
I have one. It doesn't do it.
I don't know what it does.
It's for nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't even get. And here's the thing with community college, like the one that I got, because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do.
Right.
And I was like,
so that's what they tell you.
So I just got an AA in just general. It's just a general AA. It's not even in like science or music or nursing. Like it's not even specific. So what does it do for me?
Nothing. That's what I tell these kids,
so
man. If you're listening, or if you're a parent, or if you're a kid, or if you're a college guy or girl, you should know. If you know what you want to be, stay in school. And freaking pursue that with all your heart. Just work as hard as you can to get that goal. But if you're going to school just going, oh, maybe it'll come to me, you are wasting heaps of money.
Yeah.
Heaps of money. You know how many comics I know who did college and they became comedians? What?
Yeah.
You don't need to do that. Right. It doesn't make sense. And they'll spin it. They'll say, well, I learned a lot of great things, Yeah. I learned a lot of social skills being there. And I learned, how to be disciplined and how to like take tests and prep for things which is great. You're taking something and having a positive spin on it, which I appreciate. But you couldn't have learned those things for way cheaper?
Yeah.
You couldn't have learned how to like socialize with people at like a regular job. Like you couldn't have learned discipline by like, so to the idea that you have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands a month.
I struggle with that kind of idea, not specifically with college, but like whenever things kind of happen, maybe things that bum me out or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I look back on my past and my history and stuff. I'm like, I don't want to change anything because it's made me who I am and blah, 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 that kind of thing. I struggle with that, but I'm like, do I really like some of those things were shitty,
right?
But it did make me who I am. And it's kind of that like,
what is that idea that people believe? People go, oh, I wouldn't change anything or else I wouldn't be here now. How do you know?
Yeah.
Maybe you could have changed that and had this exact outcome.
Or even better. Yeah,
or better.
If you didn't have to deal with that. Yeah, I know. It's tough.
We're pretending because what happens is we learn from those mistakes and we learn from those things and we put a great value in rising up from those. So yeah, it was good. But you could have also added some different things that would have happened and you could have still been just as fantastic as you are now.
Right.
Some weird science that everyone agrees on, like some butterfly effect. Like I wouldn't have changed anything.
Yeah.
Because then it would change this outcome. You're like, nah, you don't know that.
Maybe not.
You're not smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
No one knows that. I don't know. I would have changed a lot of things. I'm very, very happy with where I'm at. I'm very blessed. I've had a great life. But there are certain ways I've treated women. There's certain things I've said to friends. There's certain... just growing up and learning, like I made a lot of selfish decisions that I would have definitely changed and been like, no, that like just little things, but still like to act like I have no regrets because
I think that's a different thing though. You can still have regrets, but like
I would have changed it.
But taking the
That's what a
lesson
regret
from it,
is.
Yeah.
I would have been a better person earlier. As opposed to just going, that's what made me.
But then you learned like, oh, I don't want to do that. I am a better person now, So there's the growth to it too. But
if I have some magical hypothetical time machine that's just going to make me go back to change those things, I wouldn't hurt those people again.
Right. Yeah, I know.
I'd do it for the greater good.
Sure.
Yeah, to help out those people. I don't know. It's tricky. But I'm really happy that I didn't go to college because I was only getting my AA saying I was pursuing my AA because I wanted people to say, "What are you doing?" And then I could say, "Oh, I'm going to Green River, getting my AA." People go, "Oh, good for you." And then I've avoided that really scary question of what I want to do with myself.
Yeah,
because I didn't know.
Yeah, and
I was just hoping nobody would ask a follow-up question.
Yeah, it sucks, man, because I went to college and didn't know what I wanted to do. I was trying to play baseball just as long as I could. I knew I wasn't going to go pro or anything, but I was like, oh, let me just try to play at Green River. And then that was over, and I was just like, well, now what the fuck am I doing? I almost have my AA, so let me just get it.
Right.
And then luckily, I accidentally took an acting class that like changed my life, you know what I mean? And that's, I was like, oh, finally,
Yeah, it's weird. Because, I guess I just have a negative outlook on college, and maybe that's why it's affecting the way I feel about the scandals or any of those kind of things. Like, maybe I should be more optimistic about universities. It just seems so expensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're getting much out of it. And then also, there's not like this guarantee of jobs. Yeah. And also, I think it's at a time in your life where you generally, and I'm generally speaking here, don't give a shit about anything.
Right.
These kids, they have libraries full of like really great literature and like some amazing stuff that I would love resources to now. Like, oh my God, I could learn about this. And I'm very fascinated by wars and things that I would have at that age been like, this is so boring.
Right.
Like I wanted tacos and I wanted to have sex with girls and I wanted like to go party and wanted friends that were dudes that would accept me. And I wanted to like play frisbee, ultimate frisbee. Like that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I didn't have to go to college to do that. I just lived at a college campus and I didn't pay the money and I had these great years. I didn't waste any money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what college kids do.
Yeah.
They're not excited to go read about Marx.
And this is the thing. It's like you get out of it what you put into it, you know, especially like for me, like I went to a theater college. Like can be really dumb. Like why? Because I'm not going to walk into an audition room like, hey, you know, I got a bachelor's in acting. And they're like, oh, really? Ooh. Great. Yeah.
Actually, I dare you to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, but the reason
that might make them laugh so hard.
Yeah. But
here's my resume. Here's a copy of my bachelor's degree in acting.
Yeah. But the thing for me was like, I know that I'm going to get out of it what I put into it. And I didn't care about the bachelor's degree. That kind of helped my mom calm down a little bit because she can be like, oh, he's going for a degree and that matters to her. Right. Didn't matter to me. But for me, I was getting the training that I was looking for, you know what I mean? And a place to learn and train every day. So that's what I cared about, you know, and that's why I got a lot out of my college experience once I went to my theater college because I was a few years later. So I was like 21 in class with 18-year-olds.
Right.
They don't know what the fuck they want.
And they also don't care.
They got told that, oh, I can move to LA, go to this theater school and try to be famous.
Right.
I was like, no, I fucking hated everything in my life. I found acting and I love this and now I want to dive into it. Right. So like I was very happy that I was older and I was doing it later because I was here for the right reason. I wasn't looking for a college experience. I'd been to 2 colleges previously already and been
and you
there
don't
for 3
drink
years.
And do all that stuff.
I was like, no, I'm here to do what I want to do. And that really benefited me.
Yeah.
But it's not for everyone. You know, like I talk to people like, you don't have to go to college to be an actor. You can move to LA and do your thing or move to New York or anywhere. But for me, it was different.
Why do you think there is that social pressure to go to college and stuff? What is it that has been imprinted on young people's brains that you're some sort of loser if you don't go to college or you're some sort of whatever? Is it not just this college's brainwashing parents?
It's crazy.
And brainwashing baby boomers in society?
My parents didn't go to college, right? And it's like, you didn't have to. You could go.
But they feel probably a tremendous amount of shame that they didn't.
I don't think so. Because you didn't have to go to college to get like my dad has a good job at Boeing. He's been there 35 years and now he's making good, you know, he's been there for so long, you know, and it's like, I can't get that same job he got when he was 18 if I don't have an aerospace engineering degree these days, you know? So That's changed.
But I feel like they've brainwashed like the older generation to be like, my kids are going to college.
Right.
They learn that is noble and that is my kids damn well better go to college.
Right.
You know, get good grades and go to college. And so they're like scammed into this thing.
Yeah.
And then they put their kids in there where the kids don't even want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, some do or some don't know. But like for the most part, all the college kids are going to college because they've told they're going to college after high school.
Right. And I think it's in America that's doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of European countries and stuff like that, you know, students, they take a gap year. They just take a year off, go do what you need to do, go backpacking, go explore, and you find yourself and find
or a couple gap years.
Exactly. And you're like, what do I really want to do?
Right.
You know? And
or
then
a trade.
And that's why, and that's why so many, you know, American kids, they switch majors multiple times. And it takes them 6 years to get a 4-year degree because they start one way and then they switch it up. Yeah. Like I was a math education major when I started college because I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I knew I was good at math. I hated it, but I was good at it. And people were like, oh, you'd be a good teacher. And I was like, all right. And they're like, you get a math, if you're a math teacher, you'll never struggle finding a job. I was like, okay, cool. There's not enough math teachers. And I was like, all right. And I was like, first semester of college math, I was like, fuck this.
Right.
Hate this.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. So
that is fascinating that we're encouraged to do all of our life's long decisions in the Western culture at such young ages.
I didn't know shit. I still don't know shit.
You should know who your life partner is going to be, you know, before you hit your mid-20s.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the person you're going to spend your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, and your 80s, maybe your 90s with. And you should probably select them by the time you're in your 20s so you can procreate. Also, let's work on in these young formative years of distraction and fuckery and like you're not even a evolved brain yet. And we want you to also figure out what you're going to do for a living for the rest of your life. That's insane.
It's crazy.
I didn't know I was a moron when I was that age. Yeah. I'm still not that smart.
I still don't know anything.
Yeah. And they're making me make those decisions then.
I still make decisions. I'm like, what the that was terrible.
It's almost like they're preying on young people because then if they're that dumb, you know, or that impulsive and ignorant, then they can get the most money out of them.
Yeah. It worked. It worked for me. I'm very proud of my oldest brother who, you know, was in college. Again, he didn't want to be in college, but he was a baseball player and he was playing in college and then had an injury that kind of derailed his career. So he just dropped out. Yeah. He went back and finished because he only had like a year and a half left. And I'm, you know, something that's like really, really cool and very proud of him for. But it took him, he was in school for 6 years. Yeah. Then my other brother was in school for 6 years. I went to college for 6 years. Like, that's a lot of fucking college.
Well, and I can't imagine being, like, let's say I got this wild hair up my butt to prove to myself that I could graduate college or something. And then I go enroll and I do the thing. I couldn't imagine sitting in a lecture with all these people so much younger than me. You know, and just like that stigma. Imagine if I'm 45 or if I got laid off at 50. Like, I mean, it must be just feels so.
And that was weird. I remember my first year of college when I was in Vegas. Like, I had like I had to take a class because again I was an education major, so it was like a family studies class or whatever. Yeah. And like I had to do a group project, and I was 18. I was paired up with like another 18-year-old and then like a 30-year-old and then like a 50-year-old woman. And I was like, this is so fucking weird. This is so strange. Yeah. This is not, I used to watch Van Wilder and was like, oh, college is going to be awesome. Yeah.
And this is not that. Yeah, this is not that at all. Yeah. Now I'm going to some lady named Linda's house to work on a group project.
She's got kids my age. It's weird.
That's one thing that I find, oh, wait, what were we just... You said Van Wilder and made me think of something. Dang it. Oh, acting school. Yeah. So when I took acting classes, I was so agitated about how like the first day they get there, oh, it's going to be like this. And we're all going to read a scene and give each other notes. And I'm the guy that runs the whole building. My name is on the building. I'm so-and-so. I want to really help you guys. You know, who knows what you could be. And then there's like a secondary person who's like this young hot chick. And she's like, yeah, you're going to be seeing me most. He's the head honcho, so you won't be around as much, but I'll be here every class. And you're like, all right. And she knows what she's doing. She's like an established actor. She had a few things on IMDb. And then they go, all right, blah, blah, blah. It was going to separate, get to know everyone, blah, blah. It's very fun. And then they take your money, right? Yeah. And they say, oh, you want to be in this? And you're like, yeah, this looks great. It seems like a really cool thing. And then the next day you go, they just break you up into groups and they go, all right, you guys are going to have to meet 3 or 4 times a week together. And I was like, no. They don't know shit. I can't learn from them. They don't know anything. And I can't teach them because I don't know anything. I wanted you. I wanted that guy whose name's on the building, but he's not here no more. It's a scam.
Yeah.
And what, are we going to meet up with each other and just be like...
Man, this is the thing, especially in this city, like so many things are just making money off of like people like me and people like you that were in that position where it's like, I want to be this. And especially when you're just starting, because that stuff is bullshit.
Yeah.
I've never taken an acting class out of college because I'm like, what am I going to do? Go work.
It's a scam.
Go work. If I want to go do that, I can get 3 of my friends that I went to school with who I know are talented, and I can just do this for free.
Right.
We can just workshop a scene ourselves.
Well, and also that'd be way more productive because at least those guys went to acting school.
Exactly.
These kids were literally, I mean, there was a couple guys in our class that I was like, I wouldn't let them be near my car, let alone in my house.
And
I'm supposed to invite them over and then like be like, hey, do you guys want anything to drink? They looked like, I mean, not to be disrespectful, they smelled and appeared homeless. I don't know how they were paying for the class or like what is going on. And now I'm supposed to be the blind leading the blind. This guy doesn't know how to act. I don't know how to act. That's why we're taking the acting class.
It goes through even like improv training. Like the first, when I first graduated and I signed with my agents, they were like, hey, we need you to get improv training on your resume, just because they won't even, because like commercials, they don't write commercials.
Mm-hmm.
You do something in an audition and they're like, oh yeah, remember we did that? We're going to shoot that.
Right.
So I, like my Pop Sockets thing, the Santa thing, all that was improv.
Right.
Every video I did.
knew that, yeah.
And so it's like, I went to UCB, take 101, and it's just the worst thing because it's me, one other actor, and then just people that are like, oh, I want to get out of my comfort zone.
Right.
Like, great. But I don't need to learn yes and again. I've been doing this for 10 years.
Right. I felt the same way.
And so I was
but at
like,
least that was a little bit more fun.
Sure.
But
then it's like, I'm not coming back because it's just they're just trying to get money or whatever. But I don't need to say that I only took 101 on my resume. I just put UCB training, and that's good enough. And it's just the same. That's why the college I went to, I did a lot of research before. And what was different is all the teachers that I had were actual industry professionals. So not just someone who's like, oh, they were in this movie that one time. It's like I went and saw Godzilla in theaters when that came out. The last Godzilla, that was my last semester. And like my acting teacher that semester was in it.
Nice.
I like saw him on the big screen. And it's like it's like the proof is in the pudding, and they're just teaching on the side of their own performing careers, which is great.
My UCB teacher was purely there just to have sex with hot girls who took the improv classes because they wanted to like be famous.
Yeah.
And that's like he flirted with them so aggressively and was like barely talked to the dudes. I mean, it was very obvious what he was doing.
That's why,
and of course, he's going to look like the funniest guy because he's in charge of the class and he's kind of like memorized the little scripts that they try to teach about. And he's got his own little jokes in there. And then when he's improving with someone who doesn't know how to improv, of course, he's going to look very good. So now he's like the star of his own little class.
Yeah.
He's just preying on these girls. And of course, they're thinking like, oh, the teachers
so many ways that they just try to like squeeze money and like commercial acting classes. I'm like, what? Do you know what I do when I go to a commercial audition?
Yeah.
I walk in there, I'm in there for 30 seconds.
Yeah, because they look at you and they see what you are.
I'm not going to spend $2,000 on a class. What are you going to teach me?
Yeah, nothing.
It's insane.
Yeah, all that stuff is very annoying. And I just met with my agents last Wednesday, I think. And they're all like, yeah, we need to get you in these Leslie Kahn classes. Like, that's all they kept talking about. It's like, we still haven't done it. We got to get you in there. And I'm just like,
yeah,
it's going to be real annoying.
It's tough, man. And the thing, there's no blueprint for what we're doing.
Yeah.
And what we want to do.
It's like what Ryan Stout said, there's no ladder. The ladder doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. So they just think, and then they can prey on these people who don't realize that, who move to LA, I want to be famous or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, if I take this class, then I'll do this and I'll do this, I'll do this. And then they don't give a fuck.
I was having this similar conversation 8 years ago with someone about how like and I was frustrated because they're putting all these YouTube stars and Vine stars and things.
It's the worst. When I saw fucking, what's his name? He's
King Bach?
He's but he's the one that like everyone hates now. Logan Paul.
Yeah.
When I saw that he was like on set for Baywatch with The Rock.
Oh yeah.
I was livid.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I'm glad that now I can have the conversation 8 years later where the industry's realized that they don't really bring anything to the table. Like if you have 2 million YouTube followers or subscribers, and then you shoot a movie or a TV show. Meanwhile, let's do TV show. Those people don't leave YouTube to come watch you on TV. They're not going to change their medium. No. They watch things on YouTube. That's why they go to your YouTube channel. Yeah. They don't go, oh, my favorite YouTube person's now on TV. No, they've got them on YouTube. They'll watch them on YouTube. Right. So I love that the industry is realizing that now. Yeah. Like, you don't hear about them popping up anymore. There's no like, you know, if anything, they're infiltrating stand-up comedy more than they're infiltrating like television of movies.
So you know the person that's taking over Carson Daly?
It's a YouTuber, yeah.
Lily Singh, yeah, she's a YouTuber, but she's actually talented.
What's her name?
Lily Singh.
I don't know who she is, but I just learned that today.
But I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, that's one of my biggest things, especially like when I've like worked with some like really fucking talented people and like people like sleepless nights memorizing scripts and stuff. And these people that just like do shitty, they set cars on fire on their YouTube channel and then they're now in a movie with The Rock.
Yeah. Or those Vine stars. I really enjoyed Vine until people started getting famous for doing Vine. Yeah. Like I thought Vine was fun and cute. Yeah. And then it became young people acting like just Hollywood monsters. Yeah. Like they thought they were so cool because they were famous on Vine. And that's what bothered me. I think their videos were great and they were very funny and I enjoyed what they were doing and they proved they can be funny in 7-second increments. But it wasn't worth the trade of their egos. Even just the way they started looking, the way they started talking and behaving. I was like,
that's what happens when you get a bunch of money real fast, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Without having to put in like
I blamed it on the age.
Sure, yeah, but that's what I mean.
There
like
wasn't
without
any
having
35-year-old Vine stars.
No. It wasn't people who had to scratch and claw their way to do it. I was like, oh, this one video got 2 million views and then that made this other stuff happen. Now I'm getting paid $50,000 to do a Vine for Doritos. Right. And then just like, now they think they're the shit. I'm just like,
It was an awful shift. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like being on TV, not to like toot my own horn, so I hope this doesn't sound like I'm bragging, but getting on TV or getting on, TV for doing stand-up or any kind of those things, those always made me more secure, not less secure. Right. It grounded me and made me go like, oh, people are recognizing that I'm doing something good here or that I'm doing something talented or whatever, which made me I was way less secure when I wasn't on TV or when nobody watched my stand-up. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's a big example. I have like a smaller example, even just like the stuff that I've done with Collider the last 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah. Like I've had people that I haven't talked to in years. Right. Who would like message me on Instagram, like when I like post like, hey, this video's on, and they message me like, oh, it's so cool to see you do something that you really enjoy. Yeah. And like doing
it's humbling.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. You know, it's like, it doesn't make me feel like I'm the shit. Right. It's like, it makes me, I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. And like, you know, I'm on my way. I'm doing the right things.
Yeah, I felt like that, all that stuff, for me at least, it was very humbling and I just felt so blessed and I felt like, man, I don't want to screw this up or I don't want to whatever. I can't imagine it having the opposite effect. Like I was like kind of an insecure dude before I found stand-up. Like when I was just like a valet kid, you know, like valeting cars or like when I worked at like a restaurant, I was always emasculating or trying to like be like, I'm the cool guy, I'm the funny guy. I was trying to like always prove who I was in weird ways. Not now. Now I'm like, nah, I'm happy with who I am. You know, it's very strange. So it's weird when those Vine kids.
Who you are. That's the thing. The big thing is like, I don't think they know who they were. And so they can't like who they are because they don't. This is their identity now.
Ugh, well, I'm glad Vine's dead. I love that. Although a new one's popping up called TikTok and it's just fine. It's just fine.
But worse.
How's it worse?
Because it's like, it's less creative.
Oh, really?
It's even less creative because now it's just lip syncing stuff.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. So it's like Vine, at least there's some Vines that were like fucking creative.
Right. There's a lot of Vines that were creative.
Yeah. And then, but this is just like you lip sync shit.
That's one thing that's funny about Vine too, is it was real easy for YouTube mask that you can't act.
Yeah.
Because it's only 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So now you see these Vine people like in something, like when they're doing like a long form sketch on Instagram or on YouTube.
Can be pretty
And you're
brutal.
like, ooh.
Yeah.
Remember when it was 7 seconds? I had no idea that this guy sucked at reading lines or doing dialogue. It's whatever. Sorry if it sounds negative, guys. You know what? Some of it is truth. Some of it's jealousy, and some of it is
Pure rage.
yeah, just anger. That's all that is. We're not wrong, but we are a little jealous. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right.
I wanted to be
And a
on
little
set
jealous.
with The Rock. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're a little jealous, but we're definitely not wrong.
No.
I love you, man. Thanks
Love you
for
too.
doing this. Is fun.
It's fun.
Let's just do this every week.
Yeah.
I wish we'd have set up the camera right here on you, though, so it'd just be a
we
2
could,
and
we
2.
could do that now. I mean, they see me up there. I got the wide shot,
All right, cool.
you know.
Is that getting your head in there?
People can see my... I sure hope so. I hope it hasn't cut me off this whole time.
It looks like it's sort of cut you off.
Oh, well, sorry, people.
We'll figure it out. Join us next week. We got a big guest for episode 51, we think. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see who shows up. Maybe it'll be this again.
Friendship.
How about that? Fun episode. Good time hanging out. Like me and Tony were on a little date together. We had fun. Listen, if you guys want to watch this episode, go to patreon.com/JeffDye. Subscribe. $10 a month gets you unlimited tickets to all of my live performances. When I come to a town near you, or if you come to a place where I'm performing, you get unlimited stand-up comedy tickets. That includes meet and greets. We are going to be putting up a lot more content on the Patreon. We're going to be doing a lot of great stuff, but there's so many episodes. This is the 50th. So if you subscribe for $10 a month, you get to watch the episodes of Jeremy Piven, Dane Cook, Fahim Anwar, literally a catalog of 50 full-length, 1 hour long or 1 hour or longer episodes of the Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast. We enjoy making it. We hope you enjoy listening to it and watching it. Let's say you don't want to subscribe. That's fine. Go to iTunes. Subscribe to us on there. Go to YouTube and subscribe to us there. Jeff Dye's Friendship Podcast is all you got to search. On YouTube, it's just youtube.com/Jeff Dye. I was in Raleigh, North Carolina this week, and an incredible couple came up to me after the show and said, "Why did you and Tony stop playing those video games? We loved them. We watched every single one. We were huge fans of it." And I said, well, we're doing some stuff over at Collider now, and then Tony doesn't have as much time. He's got his own video game channel called Screen Peekers, and we've kind of been working on the podcast, so on and so forth, my tour schedule, all excuses. So hopefully we'll start making some more video game content for you, maybe twitching with you guys. Let us know what you want. Comment, rate, subscribe. Give us a little thumbs up, send us money, give us gifts, send nudes, whatever you want to do. That's what we're into. We're here for you. That's what Patreon is about. So one more time, if you want to subscribe to Patreon, it's patreon.com/Jeff Dye. $10 a month. Come hang out with us. We love you guys. See you next week.